Welcome to this video on disaccharides, structure and functions. This is part 2 of carbohydrates. At the end of this session, you will be able to understand the sources, chemical structure, type of bond, optical and reducing properties, digestibility and significance of disaccharide. Let me present overview of disaccharides. As the name indicates, they are made up of two monosaccharide units. These units are connected with a type of bond known as glycosidic bond. Generally, they are sweet in taste and water soluble. That is why they are called saccharides. They are found in both plant and animal sources. They serve as an important energy providing macronutrient. The common examples include sucrose or table sugar, lactose or milk sugar, maltose or malt sugar. So let us begin with sucrose. Sucrose is derived from plant dietary sources such as cane sugar or beet and many other sources. Human cannot produce sucrose. It is made up of two monosaccharide units including alpha D glucose and one beta D fructose. Alpha D glucose and beta D fructose are connected with the glycosidic bond formed between the carbonyl group of alpha D and beta D fructose. Therefore, there is no free carbonyl group in sucrose. Sucrose has chiral centers, therefore it is optically active, and sucrose solution shows 66.5 degree clockwise rotation. It is dextrorotatory. However, on hydrolysis, it produces equimolar mixture of alpha D glucose and beta D fructose, which is levorotatory and shows anti-clockwise rotation of 20 degree. Such an equimolar mixture of monosaccharides which is produced on hydrolysis of sucrose is called as invert sugar. Reducing property of a sugar is due to the presence of a free aldehyde or ketone groups. However, in sucrose, both carbonyl groups such as aldehyde in glucose and ketone group in fructose are utilized in the formation of glycosidic bond. Therefore, in sucrose, there is no free aldehyde or ketone group, and hence sucrose is a non-reducing sugar. So let us discuss lactose. It is called milk sugar because it is present only in the milk. It is sweet in taste and water soluble. It is a disaccharide made up of two monosaccharide units including beta D galactose and beta D glucose. These monosaccharides are connected with a bond known as beta 1,4 glycosidic bond. The bond is formed by interaction between aldehyde group at carbon 1 of beta D galactose and OH group of carbon 4 in beta D glucose. This is not present in plant. It is produced in the lactating mothers in their mammary gland. So milk is the only source of this disaccharide, sorry. Lactose also has chiral center, therefore it is optically active. It produces a clockwise rotation of 52.5 degree and therefore it is dextrorotatory, and it remains dextrorotatory on hydrolysis to its monosaccharide units. Unlike sucrose, it has a free aldehyde group, therefore it is also a reducing sugar unlike sucrose. This can be digested in most of the humans or by humans. However, some individual cannot digest it and therefore producing condition known as lactose intolerance, which is associated with osmotic diarrhea, bloating, and the nausea, vomiting, and inflammation in the GI tract. Let us discuss maltose. Maltose is a disaccharide which is sweet in taste and water soluble. This is also called as malt sugar. It is produced during digestion by the action of alpha amylase on starch in our GI tract. It is also present in fermenting starch and called, as I said earlier, malt sugar. This is a disaccharide made up of two alpha D glucose units. These are connected with glycosidic bond known as alpha 1,4 glycosidic bond. by the interaction between aldehyde group of at one carbon atom 1 and OH group uh, at carbon 4 of the second glucose unit, and therefore one aldehyde group in maltose is free, therefore maltose is a reducing sugar. Maltose is optically active because it has chiral centers. It rotates the plane of polarized light clockwise, producing an angle of 140 degree. It is dextrorotatory therefore, and it remains so on hydrolysis into its constituent units. It has a free aldehyde group, therefore it is a reducing sugar as well. It is digestible in humans, and it serves as a source of energy. So in summary, we discussed disaccharides, which are made up of two monosaccharide units. There are three types which we discussed. The first one is sucrose. It is also called as cane sugar, or plant. It is a plant product produced mainly in the plant. Humans cannot synthesize it, and it cannot be absorbed into through the GI tract into our blood circulation. It is a disaccharide made up of alpha D glucose and beta D fructose. It has no reducing free aldehyde or ketone group, therefore it is non-reducing and it is digestible. Second example we discussed is lactose, which is also called as milk sugar. It is a disaccharide made up of beta D glucose and beta D galactose, and they are connected together with beta 1,4 glycosidic linkage. It is reducing because there is one free aldehyde group in this molecule. It is digestible, and in most of the cases it is tolerated. However, in certain population, it cannot be digested and produces a condition known as lactose intolerance, which produces osmotic diarrhea and other GI symptoms. And the third one we discussed is maltose. Is also a disaccharide. It is produced from starch by the action of alpha amylase in our GI tract. It is made up of two alpha D glucose units connected by alpha 1,4 glycosidic bond. It is fully digestible, and it is reducing sugar as well. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe it. Write comment, and I will be happy to answer if you have any question or query or suggestion.